My name is Igor. I'm gonna represent Noda project. Here it is. Uh, so we are doing the B2B business. This online payments for merchants without credit cards. And today I'm going to show you the last year results, our future vision, and the plans for the next year, starting from the results of the previous year. So what we wanted to achieve in 2023, sort of 1 year ago when we set up our plans for the year. We want to increase our turnover 3 times, and it was 15 millions per month for the December of 2022. The turnover is one of our major rates, as this is the payment traffic we are performing, and our business model is that we are taking the commissions for making these payments. We want to acquire the licenses in 4 regions in Europe, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. Can you do this thing to show it here as well, so I can. All right. So we also wanted to launch some new products such as data services, card payments, and balance for merchants. And we wanted to grow our team 3 times from 30 people to 90 people. So as for the results, we increased traffic 5 times. Sorry, five times, and we diversified it in a way that we currently have half of it from the German payers, and the rest of it from the other countries in the European Union and Great Britain. So the start of the year was the highest for us, so we cannot see it in a graph, in a diagram, actually. But the first month for us was the most intense growth, as we increased sort of 2 times per month for the December of 2022 and for the January and February of 2023. This was the hardest time, and it's sort of repeating once again now, but we grow in the middle of the year as well. So we increased our headcount 3 times as planned, actually. And this was mostly a forecast for us, because we first we are making the plans for the sales pipeline, and after that we're forecasting how many team members we need to perform the service on the same quality. So currently the growth was the most during the second quarter for us. We grew 2 times in 1 quarter, and this was a period, if I remember, in June, where the most of the people in Noda were on the probation period. So we got sort of 60% of us on the probation, and this was quite a hectic time, because communications was very intense between the newcomers and sort of old Noda employees who was there for half a year or so. Where we are now, we have more than 1/3 of us in Latvia. So this is the most, the core of Noda, headquarter or something like this. A lot of team members in Poland and Georgia. Also, we started to intensively develop the regions of Lithuania and Bulgaria in the 3rd and 4th quarters of previous year. And a lot of team members are spread in the different countries. So there is others where there's about 1 or 2 people in the country, and there's very spread like a Turkey, Montenegro, Thailand, and whatever. Um, Currently, we have most like 45 people, I guess, in IT department. So we want to build up the very technological products, and we needed to, in order to compete better with our competitors who are mostly the large companies currently, and we need to build the products faster. The second biggest department is the revenue department, and others is the teams who are supporting the current activities. So the merchants onboarding, the payments flows, ensuring the smooth payments flow, onboarding with the banks, acquiring the licenses, do all the legal background and so on. Currently, we are present in the UK and European Union. We have 9 companies. Some of them are grouped under the Noda Holding on Cyprus, and some of them are not yet grouped, but we want to do this in the next 2 years. We launched it recently, the Canada and Brazil. Brazil is coming soon. Canada is active starting from January. And we are about to launch the services in Australia within this or the next quarter. So we developed our future vision in previous summer, I guess. So we have a series of meetings with the chief officers in NODA, and we discussed where we want to be in 3 years. So and we balanced this position because there were a lot of opinions on that, and we need to discuss every single part of our existence, and if everyone's agree that we are going there, right? So, for example, if you are working in the support, you don't want to have a lot of merchants because there are gonna be a lot of inquiries and so on and so forth. But speaking in the terms of revenues, perhaps you're gonna want them. And we needed to align where we want to be in terms of risks of merchant portfolio, and in terms of the volumes of each merchants, the payment traffic which they bring to us. So, for example, the question if the merchant will give us 100K in turnover per month, should we onboard them or not, just not to continue the discussions. So we came up there with a vision of where we want to be in 3 years. First, the very first thing is we want to be the high-tech open banking platform. And there is a questionable thing, because currently we have 100% of our revenue and profits from the open banking payments, which are not including the card payments. We don't do them yet, and we discussed whether we want to start this or not. And we gonna do this, but in very small small scope, just to support the existing inquiries from the merchant, because not all of them are can allow themselves to have only the open banking provider. So we want to be a very, very, very high tech. So this reflects in our team head count, because we need to connect to hundreds of banks, and in different regions there are different payment flows and different connection types, and you gonna keep up with that. And we want to provide the services for any merchant. So we need to develop the processes which allow us to onboard the small merchants as well. And there's a tricky thing, because the onboarding of merchants and launching it and integrating to life is a very hard process and very sensitive for each business because they need a very high quality of the support during their going live. And we need to automate it because we cannot assign the engineers for each onboarding. This reflects in the product portfolio as well because we need to do these things like automated help with integration, automated help with onboarding, automated technical support, and so on. And we want to be everywhere, but when we're speaking about everywhere, we need to understand that open banking is not everywhere in the world right away. And when we are planning to spread throughout the world, we're looking at the current legislation. If they have at least something that will allow them to launch open banking in 2 years or so. And we want to grow 4 times in the team headcount during the next 3 years. Currently, our platform is structured in a way that we sort of layering it. So we have a presentation layer just for the marketing, for the support things. We have a merchant entrance layer, so there's registration and onboarding stuff. We have a core, there's paid services, which we are providing, and the delivery options is very important, as we understand for the previous year, because everyone, when we attract different merchants, they want to integrate in different ways, and therefore we need to provide a very lot of different APIs, web plugins, specific components for the specific payment flows or e-commerce ways like web app, like AR, VR, and so on. So the maintenance is when the merchants go live and we started to perform the payment traffic. We need to support merchants as well on the different steps of the life cycle, and that is the final layer. So we started to do the trademarks in the previous year, and we are currently discussing our opportunities to patent the specific algorithms we are making. But this is something hard for us right away. So the licensing approach is the first line of licensing which we are completing during the next 2 quarters. This the UK, Europe, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. So we need to launch the payment license and our own payment licenses in all of these regions. The second line is where the open banking rather launch it and being in life, or there is some legislation come up within this or next years. This is the Southeast Asian countries, Latin America and USA, and the third line is Middle East and Africa. But perhaps we will consider doing something in Middle East this year because they sort of speeded up recently. So the plans for the next year are to structurize the platform further. So we have different things which are ready and live, some things which are on a beta version right away, and the merchants started to test it. Some things which are already developing, and we expect them to be live or in beta in two quarters or so. And we have some things which we are currently just discussing. Anything. The interesting things here, probably the well, no, I'm not going to speak about AI. Yeah, there's AI everywhere, and the streaming things is interesting. So the guys from our R&D, we have R&D team in IT department, and they're developing the new things, which all of them are in the delivery methods, and not all of them, but all the stuff in delivery methods came in from R&D. The streaming is very interesting stuff that we want to give the opportunity for the video streams, for the AR, VR streams, and so on to have their payments implemented. And there is interesting features that can be done there because they need to not only accept the payments, but they show the payment results on the video stream as well. So when someone sends a donate to the streamer, it needs to be somehow uh, visualized, or some celebration need to be on the video stream after the donate. So we are investing in this development right away. The other stuff is the interesting things in LTV prediction, as we can extract the data from the bank account of our payer, and for the free times of transaction and all of like payments are visible to us, and we can analyze them, and we can sell say that, for example, this guy will spend a lot of money on your services, and we can currently predict this with a good quality right away, and we have it in beta version for some merchants, and I hope this will bring us more competitive advantage when we're speaking about payments. This is the financial plans. So we're gonna grow for about 2.5 times for this year in terms of turnover and profits. We are focusing on in terms of sales, we are focusing on the diversification mostly. We need to improve our portfolio to make it more stable. So we are kind of depend on the few particular industries, few particular legislations currently, and there is a very high impact in terms of risks for us. For example, if some legislation come up in European Union for some of high-risk industries, and this gonna change something like this stuff. You saw this was a nice slide about the big bloody wave. This move out all the apps with the AI chats, right? So we need to consider this stuff, and we want to diversify our portfolio in order to avoid the risks in there. So we want to become a recognizable open banking provider in Bulgaria and Romania. So basically speaking, in Balkan countries, as there are mostly the free market for the open banking there, because the banks aren't ready, and we started to work with them, and we are sort of educate the National Bank of Greece, for example, how they need to provide the open banking services. And there's the side drawing. All right. We want 50 merchants from our portfolio to use our data products, this LTV stuff and KYC stuff from the previous slide. And we want 200 merchants using the different delivery channels we are building. These things like web plugins, the donation streams, and so on and so forth. A lot of them, a lot of distribution features. And additionally, we want to, by the end of this year, we want to achieve 50-50 balance in the portfolio by the merchant's quantity. We don't think that we are about to achieve this in terms of revenues and profits, because the lower risk industries are not tend to pay a lot for the payments. They have less issues with them. But in terms of quantity, we want to do this. We want to purchase the payment license in European Union, as there seems to be a very long process currently to get a new license. This 1 minute left, and this is the last slide, by the way. I hope so. Yeah, this is the last. I have enough time. We want to open some regions we want to open new companies and start license them or the purchase the license in Asian region. So they're going to be either Singapore or Hong Kong. We want to do the same in Latin America, in Mexico or Argentina. So there's going to be a probably this not going to be a very tough as we already will be in Brazil. And we want to at least start doing something in the United States. We want to finalize the licensing activities in Australia and Brazil. They're about to go live quite soon. And do the licenses in Spain and Malta to diversify the EU presence. Thank you.
Nice.